And I'm back. Okay, this is gonna be a good one. All right, because I actually took notes. I realized that a lot of times I'm just talking, and I just have to get out the content to you all. But it's just in my head, right? I just like, look, I know it's not completely structured. Sometimes I kind of bounce around from different topics. They're all important to know. That's why I'm saying, listen to my video and take a pad or, a tablet or something and take notes. And then I told you, you'll piece it together and it will make sense in the end. So, but today, this time, I actually took notes to be a little bit more structured because I don't want to lose you in the message, right? So we're gonna talk. This is gonna be a really good little segment here because we're gonna talk about the real deal. Like, there's a lot of pieces, and this is not the only thing that you need to adhere to, but it is a good chunk of it. Like, my topics is basically from A to Z: how to buy, when to sell, make money. Okay, but again, there's so much more. But this, I will have various videos just on subjects within here, right? But I'm just gonna cover them at a high level, so at least you can say, hey, look, can you just give me like the Cliff Notes version? So if you want to stumble through it, then at least you'll have some type of half map right here, right? But if you really want to be successful, then you got to be very good at all of these various steps. So I just want to preface that by saying that, okay, that you can't just, you'll understand. So we're going to talk about how to find the right assets. Remember, that's where it starts. How do we find the right assets, the right projects, the right tokens, the right cryptocurrencies to invest in the first place? Right? It starts there. The second question is, how do I buy it? Right? So I found something. How do I buy it? What's the process of buying cryptocurrency? Where do I buy it? Right? That's obviously very important as well. Like, okay, so I buy it by this method. I have to use my bank account, Robinhood. Where to buy it is like Robinhood. But then you can't always use Robinhood. You can't always use crypto.com. You can't use these all the time. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about when to buy. Very important, right? And when to sell, right? Also equally as important. And then we'll talk a little bit about some advanced techniques to really, really make some money. Okay. So I'm gonna jump right into it. If you have any questions, please jot them down in the comments. I will look at them and then I will answer them for you in another video, so that way you can continue to learn. Look at my face, like something's on my face. I guess not. You continue to learn as I answer your questions for you. But please go ahead and hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the content if you have not already, so you can be informed when I put out the next videos. And with that, we'll get right into it. I'll kind of run through this, so take notes, rewind if you need to. But I just gotta hit it at high levels, and again, I'll bring up other videos. I'll produce other videos about specific in-depth topics. How to evaluate an asset. Okay, first, number one, understand the use case. Go to the website. Okay, we could take one like let's just take Ethereum. Okay, people want to know what Ethereum or Bitcoin, whatever. Let's just talk about Ethereum as an example here. Or XRP. I like XRP even better, right? So let's just say you heard about XRP. I need to understand what it does. The use case for XRP is cross-border payment transactions, right? You want to send money from Japan to India, from the US to Argentina, wherever, right? Cross-border payment transactions at a much faster rate and a much cheaper rate than it would normally cost you today. Okay, that's their use case. They have other use cases, but we're just giving an example of what a use case is, right? Competitors, understand, are there competitors in this space? Are they the only one doing this? In this case, if you did your research, you realize they don't really have any competitors not doing it the way they do it, especially in the way they do it is vastly superior than everyone else. So you say, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense to me, all right? And then you want to look at the tokenomics. You want to say, okay, well, I understand it's a great use case, but how does this work in the cryptocurrency space when it comes to making money? How many tokens do they have available to supply? You need to look at the circulating supply and the fully diluted supply, like the max supply as well. So you can see, like, it's a supply demand. Okay, like if they have a quadrillion tokens, then it will never run out. So the supply will never delete or diminish or get smaller. Is it inflationary or deflationary? Is there a burning mechanism? And I know I'm getting into details again. Like I said, I'll cover several videos so you'll be an expert by the time you listen to all these videos. Okay, but anyway, let's look at the tokenomics. Okay, that's just a lesson by itself. I can't get into it too much. Roadmap. Okay, where is this company going, and where are they today? You know, is their website showing the proper, accurate roadmap, and are they adhering to it? And where are they at in that process? Are they mature? Are they brand new? Are they budding, new, young, old, top 3, whatever it is, right? You have to look at the roadmap. Look at the team. These are basic fundamentals. A lot of these things apply to stocks and everything else, right? Stock, cryptocurrencies, same thing. This is how you evaluate. I'm just giving you a checklist, okay? The team, again, the team, are they experienced? Are they new? Are they teenagers? Are they come from former CEOs? For example, with Ethereum, the founder of Ethereum worked for Ripple, who created XRP. Right? So again, you understand all these details. Not going to get into it. Exchanges. Where can they be found? Are they on exchanges right now? Do you have to use a DEX? A DEX is a decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap, Uniswap, SushiSwap. Funny names, but sometimes that's the wild, wild west. Sometimes you have to go out there and get some of these assets if they're not mature enough to get on an exchange. And if you want to catch some of these opportunities, like I was mentioning, crypto.com down when things are like this, before it goes way up like this is when it's on the exchange, right? Sometimes. But you want to catch it down here. Sometimes you're going to have to go out there and buy it on a DEX, okay, a decentralized exchange like PancakeSwap or Uniswap. So you can hold it on a wallet, and then to figure, okay, where can I hold it? I don't know once I do this. So again, another video on that. But you have to understand, is it available to purchase anywhere, right? And how? And that's basically how you evaluate a company. Okay, so now that you have a company, you figure out how to buy it. I just touched on this. Is it on a regular exchange? Is it Robinhood? By the way, don't use Robinhood if you can help it. Okay, that's another video still. Is it on Coinbase, Uphold, a regular exchange, Binance, KuCoin, OKCoin, Voyager, Crypto.com, right? All these things. And on the small side note, because I keep forgetting to mention this, there's a lot of people out there claiming they know what they're talking about when it comes to cryptocurrency, and they don't. Okay, another video, they don't. I heard a very popular guy, and I'm not gonna call names because I don't want to bash their channels or nothing, but the thing is, I got to the point to where I started realizing that I can call bullshit, excuse my French, when I'm listening to these experts, and I'm like, that's not right. I heard a guy say just a couple of days ago on a very popular show, saying, hey, if it's not on the top 3 exchanges, don't get it. And I'm like, top 3 exchanges? What does that even mean? Right? So what does that mean? I would like to interview him, right? What does that even mean if it's not on Coinbase or Binance? Like, do you even understand? Like, so again, I'm a source. I have the exchanges. I use the exchanges. I can tell you about every exchange, right? And I can tell you there's no ranking to that degree. There's no top 3, right? There is the number 1 exchange in the US is Coinbase. And it sucks for the most part. I don't even use Coinbase that much, and I've used it thoroughly. Okay, again, I'm telling you from actual, my own use case, right? I've used it, and I know about all the exchanges, and it's just not. It has some benefits, and again, that's another video. But I'm coming back because this video will be forever. I'm trying to keep it short for you because I know you got other things to do, and you're welcome in advance. You can buy fractions of a cryptocurrency, right? A lot of people don't realize that you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin, a full Ethereum, a full XRP. Ethereum is $40,000, $4,000 something, right? $4,200, $4,600. You don't have to. You can spend $5 on Ethereum, and I should stop saying $5. It's $5, right? I get lazy. So, and it is late too. It is 1 a.m. Okay, so if I look tired, it's because it's 1 a.m. But I'm trying to get this content out. Okay, I think I'm gonna name my channel like 3 a.m. or something because I'm always up here doing this stuff late. But it's for you guys, trying to help you. Okay, back to it. What was I saying? I was talking about fractions. Yes, so you can just basically buy what you want. Okay, don't worry about buying full. Just buy what you want, and it's not about. A lot of people have a bad perception, a negative. It's not negative. It's just a bad perception about pricing. And they say, well, if this Ethereum and I keep picking on Ethereum because it is $4,000. They say, well, if Ethereum is 4,000 and this other asset over here is only 2 cents, then I'll probably be better off buying the 2-cent asset. And that's not how you do it, okay? That's the poor logic. That might work in some other asset class, but not in the crypto space, okay? It's all about the market cap and the potential of the percent growth, okay? Another video on more on that, but just at least you know that much. Okay, if you have questions about any of these topics, just put them down in the comments for me, and I'll help you understand more on those topics. Have a plan. When you talk about how to buy, you need to buy based on a plan. Okay, you need to say, okay, here's my financial situation, here's my goals. I have hypothetically $5,000 that I want to invest in this space. I'm just making this story up, right? And this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial investor. I'm not your financial advisor. Remember that. I have to keep telling you that. Okay. But just to hypothetically say you have $5,000 that you want to invest into this market, and you want to retire on it, or just to say you want to double it. You'd like it to be $10,000. And when it reaches 10,000, obviously sooner than later, then you pull it out and then, go buy something. I don't know your financial situation, so it's really hard to say. A lot of people want to say, hey, look, I want to put everything I got into crypto. I don't want to diversify into real estate. I don't want to diversify into gold. I don't want to diversify into futures, whatever it is. All my money, I get $10,000, and I just want it, when it hits 100,000, then I'll be good. All right, look, I don't know what your plans are, but so you need to have a plan. You need to figure out, do you want to just keep this in long term? I mentioned this before. But again, I talked about the market cycle. So you do need to buy, figuring out the market cycle. Basically, that means when the prices go from being dormant in a bear market to going into a bull market back to a bear market. That's a cycle, okay? And you have to figure out where you are in that cycle. Right now, we're on the tail end of the bull market. It's been going on for like a year, okay? And it's going to continue. I mentioned before, November, December, January, maybe a little bit of February. You go back and look at my video, I said the same thing. All right. This is the tail end before the prices are going to come back down very, very low, and then you can buy again in the bear market. So you have to understand that part of the equation as well when you talk about when to buy, right? I think we're talking about when to buy now. Okay. When to buy. I guess we weren't. We're segueing into the when to buy. Understand where you are in the market. Okay, because it's going to let you know where your gains are. Because you might think or know that, hey, if I'm in the beginning of a bull market, you're going to have to wait a while, right? You have to understand they're more like 3-4 year cycles. You have to wait a while, but that is a time to accumulate. If you're at the tail end where we are, November, December, January, then you say, okay, look, this is the time where things are popping. Okay, really a lot, right? 800% returns, 100% returns in a day. It depends on if you know what you're doing. Like, you can make 100% return in a week. Really. Okay? No kidding. You just have to understand all these fundamentals and everything else. Right? So it's not easy, but you can do it. I do it. I tell you everything I tell you, I do. So I'm not speculating, right? There's still not financial advice, but these are some of the basic principles. So back to it, when understand where you are in the market cycle. And again, another full video about market cycles, buying the dip. Okay, so you never want to buy at an all-time high price. Okay, the price, you go in there, you look on there, say $5,000. That doesn't mean you spend the $5,000 today or tomorrow. You have to know when to buy, right? It might be next week. When certain parameters happen, that's when you buy. So you have to identify, okay, where am I at in the market cycle? Where is the dip? Another one, Fibonacci, that's the third. So market cycle, dip, Fibonacci retracement, okay, which is basically, I talked about that before. This is an analytical chart, and again, another video on it, that tells psychological levels of buying and selling pressure. When prices reach certain points on a graph, that indicates that this is a buying or selling signal, okay, emotionally, all right? So it's a psychological level to say $1, or when it reaches this point, more people are going to buy, especially the whales. And that's very key. That's why the Fibonacci is so important. But the whales are keying in, looking through their little secret glasses. Hey, when when are the people psychologically gonna buy, right? So that looks funny, doesn't it? So basically the Fibonacci, right? Fibonacci is going to say where a dip is anticipated. If the dip is coming, it's verified that, okay, here's the dip I was looking for. There's a dip right now, as a matter of fact, okay? I literally just sold off 10% of my position. I could even just read off some of these just so you just on a little side note. I had some, looks like about 10 assets here. I had some high percent returns. So I know the dip is coming. I can take it, sell at the top, people. Now, okay, 853%. I sold 60% of my assets on that one. 818%. I sold 70%. 461% return. And I sold half, and so on and so forth. 443, 421, 400. So the point is that I sold the ones that had the highest percent returns, and I sold about 50% roughly of those, right? I still have many other assets that haven't reached 800% or 1,000 or whatever percent return. As a matter of fact, the assets have higher returns. I'm just looking at this. It's just that's the percent return for the amount that I sold. Again, another video to get into those details. But that's the point, is that I tell you, you have to buy high and sell low. This is exactly, I just did this. Like, I'm doing this again. I do everything I'm telling you, right? And what happens is that this profit, this is all profit. Clearly, at 800% return, this is mostly profit. Like, it's 1% my investment and there's a whole bunch of profit. I'm gonna take this money, and at the bottom of the dip, and I'm gonna tell you, like, again, this is not financial advice, but this is what I'm doing. After Thanksgiving, I will be buying again. I'll be buying these same assets again, but at a much cheaper price. And I'll have a bunch of money over here that I made a profit, and I could just use that profit money to do whatever, right? Or I can just continue to collect it. It is Black Friday, so I'll probably spend some of that money instead of putting it back into the assets. But that's just a small fraction, though. So the point is that this is how you do it, right? I didn't sell everything. I just sold, 50%. But when I buy it back, it's going to cost me 25% for the same thing, right? So I'm going to have the same assets, but it's going to be a lot less cost to me. This is how you do it. This is what the whales do. I've told you in the other videos. Do what the whales do. Do what the big money people do, and you will make money like the big money, or at least in that same way, right? You may not have billions or millions or whatever quadrillion. You have your money, right? It's the percent return that counts. If you got $100 and you could turn that to 150, you're probably happy, right? Or if you got 1,000, you turn that to 3,000, you're happy, or whatever the case is, right? Everyone's financial situation is different, but this applies across the board. It doesn't matter. It works. Okay. So buying the dip. Don't buy an asset when it first launches. When it launches, there's people that buy the assets pre-sale before it hits the market. And when it launches, the price is going to shoot up because people are buying. And those same smart people like, hi, I got you. And they're going to dump, right? Every time you're going to see it, the price goes, whatever the price, it doesn't matter if it's $1, 500, 1,000, it's going to go up, shoot up. Don't buy, okay? Wait for it to come back down. It will. Because those people up, the pre-sale people are taking profits up here. And they're making the price drop back down because it's selling, okay? So be careful, again, knowing what's happening behind the closed doors I told you about earlier, okay? So be careful. Do not buy during a launch. Wait, okay? What? Wait. How do you know when to wait? Watch the price go like that. When it come back down, that's when you buy, okay? Buy during a bear market. I mentioned this earlier. Buy when the prices are very low. Your future self will thank you for that, right? Be patient. That's another thing. Be patient. Buy when there's panic in the street. When you see there's a lot of everything's red and there's bad news and China banned Bitcoin and all this type of stupid mess, it's there for a reason. It's, again, do the reverse, okay? When everyone is scared, I told you about this. Be greedy when others are fearful. Remember, right? I'm gonna keep saying this stuff because it matters so much if you're trying to make a lot of money in this asset class, okay? Be greedy when others are fearful. when the news is bad, when all the prices are down. Had you bought during COVID, man, you're not even listening to me right now, okay? You would be a millionaire many times over, okay? If I invested the same, just the point is right. The point is that you have to be strong enough mentally to deal with these crazy, scary dips that just look like the world is falling, like what they say is a manhole cover falling out the sky, right? You got to be strong enough to buy during those times. Buy when there's blood in the streets, even when it's your own. That's powerful. That's when to buy. This is the when to buy section. Okay, I'm telling you, these are the things. If you do these things, you're gonna be successful. Not financial advice, but I can take you. That's what I do. I can take it to the bank. All right. And we're talking about when to sell. Okay, selling is just as important as buying, right? You can't make money if it's in paper form. Like if you say, "Hey, look at my portfolio. Look at here, right? Oh, look at all this." It means nothing unless you sell it, right? Selling is when you actually realize the profits that you've been hoping for. I've seen so many people have millions of dollars in their portfolios and then it just go away, right? They never sold. And I can tell you, if you do what I'm telling you to do, you will never lose. You can't lose if you sell on the other side of the dip, right? When, like me, what I just did, if I took a 800% profit and that same asset continued to skyrocket, I may not be able to take advantage of that skyrocketing price to the same degree if I didn't sell everything. But I told you, no one can predict the future. No one. If anyone is telling you for certain something is going to happen, just don't listen to them anymore, right? I can tell you what I'm doing. Again, Fibonacci's can tell you everything, but everything that I'm telling you is based on probability. When I make forecasts and predictions, it's based on probability. Not to say it's going to happen. I don't know, right? That's why if I did, I'd be selling out all my positions, right? But I sell 50% because I'm thinking something's going to happen, I'm in a position to take advantage of that thought if it were to happen. If it doesn't happen, then I'm still okay. If I sold my position off and made 800% return and the price falls, then I'm great. If it goes up, fine, I'm still great. I still have the profit, right? A lot of people, again, I told you about the fear and greed, which drives the market. Don't be so greedy to where you've made 800% profit and you still want that 900, that 1,000%. Like, don't be so greedy, because if you're wrong and you hold off and that price plummets and never comes back, you're gonna never forget how bad that feeling is, right? So that's the lesson here when it comes to selling. Know when to sell. Have your plan. When you reach your targets, sell. Dollar cost average into the asset, dollar cost average out. For example, since I cashed out 50%, if asset still goes, I still have 50% to take advantage of an increase, right? Sell a little bit more, 20%. Sell a little bit more, 10%. Sell a little bit more. I'll keep selling like small fractions, right, till it goes up. And at some point, it's going to crash. The thing is, if I sold 50%, I still have 50% in there, and then it crashes, it's fine. I've already still made the profit. The other 50% was just extra money on top of that anyway, right? So you got to look at it like that. That's how you win. You ensuring a win for yourself. I used to be the person that when I invested the money, whatever I put, $1,000, whatever it was I put into something, and then that money just plummeted, and I'm like, freak, man, why is every time I put money in something, the price go down? And I'll sell it off, my man, crap, I got to do a better job next time. That's not what you do. $1,000 turned to $200, you sell, you lost $800, that's no good, right? You got to hold through that. All right. So, another point, two more important points about when to sell. Having cash on standby to buy during the right time. Okay. Time your purchases. Don't just buy because you just came up with $500 today. You've strategically determined when the prices when you need to buy, right? Based on all these things I'm telling you, right? So always have cash on standby, so when the circumstances and the stars line up and it's time to buy, you have the money there to buy. Don't be in a position where, oh man, man, this is a great time to buy. Man, I wish I had the money, but you already bought everything. You put all your money into it like too early or something, right? So always have some money left over. Just keep some money, 10%, 20% of your money. It's called dry powder, right? Or just basically cash in an exchange or somewhere where you can get to it and buy during opportunities. These are the tricks of the trade, right? This is how, if you're not in the asset at the right time, I explained to you in another video when I bought crypto.com at 7 cents and it's at 75 cents, right? If you don't have the money when it's at 7 cents, you might have all the fundamentals in your head, but you can't execute or act on it because you don't have any money, right? So make sure you always have money on the side. And that's one reason why I sold on this opportunity here. That money's gonna sit there, and when the time is right, it's gonna go right back into the market, minus a little bit of profit I take for Black Friday. Okay, so anyway, I gotta buy a bunch of stuff. Last thing about when to sell is news. Don't let the news fool you. Okay, there's always been this controversy about, does the news drive the charts or does the charts drive the news? And I'm here to tell you, the charts drive the news, okay? Because the charts are based on emotional history of humans. The emotional history of humans is what drive the charts as far as like technical analysis is concerned, okay? Not just a regular chart you look at, but technical analysis. When we talk about Fibonacci retracements and we talk about Bollinger Bands, the RSI, we talk about, what's my other one? Elliott waves. I keep forgetting about Elliott wave. But again, I'm getting technical. But the thing is, these types of technical analysis, they will tell you the general direction that things are headed. If there's a big dip coming or price levels and targets of that nature, they're quite accurate and eerily scary. Okay, I'm telling you. But again, it's so accurate because human emotion doesn't change. They keep coming back to it. What happens is that the whales, the people with the big money, they also understand the technical analysis, like some of the advanced people, and they make moves, and then they find some news to fit the move. Because you say, okay, well, how come this China news came out and the price? No, if you watch carefully, the price dipped, then the China news comes out. If you watch it real carefully, or whatever other news, right? It's always a narrative that fits the chart, okay? It's there to fit the chart, not the other way around. So the point here, the message I'm trying to give you is, don't let the news fool you or scare you. Okay, these people who are the sources of the news, like if it's not the news person who reporting it on the TV, but the person they got the news from, okay, they have agendas, right? And that agenda is there to suit their needs, not yours. Okay, so they're trying to, they'll put a lie out there. I mean, Hillary Clinton was just on TV, straight up lie, right? Hey, there's this exotic thing called crypto. No, y'all. So anyway, the point is, don't let the news scare you, okay? It's scaring you out of your plan. Have your plan. You've done your research. You have your fundamentals. You looked at your tokenomics, the use cases, the teams, everything, the roadmap, okay? You got that. Stick to your plan. Don't let things deviate. The only thing that needs to deviate is where you buy your money at, right? And that's the only part that's going to change, is when those circumstances line up and it's time to buy those dips or sell at various parts of your plan. Guys, if you do this, you're going to be perfectly fine and way more wealthier than you are today. All right. And again, I have to stress, you have to be patient because you don't know when those opportunities are going to show up exactly. But when they show up, you'll know it because your plan said, and when it reaches 300%, I'm going to sell 50%. You'll know it, right? When it hit 300, don't get greedy and say, oh man, it's doing so good, I'm going to hold off for 400%. No, don't do it, right? Stick to your plan. You want to make decisions off of logic Remember, this whole market manipulation is based on what? Human emotion. You never hear me talk about logic driving the prices. Emotion drives the price. Stay away from the emotional side, stick with the logical side, and you will basically pass through this fire, this flame of manipulation that's here to burn you. You will pass through it on the other side unscathed. You'd be like, hey, I have no flames. I'm not burned up. All right? And that's where you want to be. You want to be unburnt. This is the unburnt message. Okay? And lastly, I can't get into this because I'm still so long. That's why the videos are so long. The last thing is I want you to know this market is in place, and if you work hard and if you understand all of the deep dive messages behind all of these summary messages, you can turn $1,000 into $10,000 into $100,000. This market, you can do it like literally in like a year or two, but especially over a full cycle of a 3 to 4 year period of time. Yes. These assets have been increasing. Assets increased by 23,000%. It's stupid. You buy something at 0.03%, a fraction of a penny basically, and it will turn into like $5 or even more. Case in point, it's probably not a good example, but Ethereum was $200 a year and a half ago. Ethereum is $4,600 today. It's probably not quite at 46. I think it dropped down to 42. But either way, just think about that. $200 and it's $4,200. Do the percent return on that. And that was just a year and some change ago. That wasn't even back in 2017 when they were truly like pennies at the time. You don't hear me. Anyway, that's all I got for now. I know this video is way too long. You guys, if you find any benefit for anything I'm telling you here, hope you take some notes, go back and watch the video again. Put some comments down in there. Ask me any questions that you have. I'll be happy to dive into it. Hit the like button again, y'all. Just take your thumb and just hit the like button for me. It really would help out a lot. And subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. So until next time, you guys have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.